Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So this is something different. I just thought of it right now. Actually, it's kind of an experiment. I've never done this one before, where I just kind of have a topic and kind of talk about it while I play a game in the background. Because I figure, that's a little bit more exciting than just looking at my face, and it just kind of adds a little bit to it. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about, and it was just this topic that kind of jumped to me. Was Pat the NES Punk just released a video today, I believe, about do YouTubers complain too much? And it was just something that got to me because I was like, I think I was at that point where I started complaining too much about YouTube, and I'm just gonna start a game here. I'm gonna play some Pitfall while I ramble on. Actually, I'll just make sure I can read the chats, because I want the chat involved in this, because this makes it more fun than rather just making a regular video about it. I think this is what I thought about, I could have gone and made a response video, but I thought this would be much more fun to do. And, normally when I do my my live streams, it's just me rambling on about whatever. And, at least at this point I can have a topic. But what I wanted to talk about really was a response to that video. Hold on a sec. You know what? I just want to turn my volume down on my headphones because I got this Pitfall going right off in my ear, and it really sucks. But yeah, so what I wanted to talk about was when I first started this channel, it was it was a challenge because I had to figure out how to do almost everything. I had to figure out how to set up the video. I had to figure out how to film the video, edit the video, set up a YouTube account, everything involved in doing the whole YouTube thing. And part of that was also watching a lot of other YouTubers, seeing what they did, just kind of figuring it all out as I went along. And after I started making the videos and started posting it and doing the whole sharing and all that stuff, and at that time YouTube allowed you to monetize, which was cool. But at the same time, you're only getting about 20 views if you were lucky. Small-time YouTubers, when you first start out, you don't get a lot of views. You don't have a lot of subscribers. So it was almost like a moot point to have monetization. And so when YouTube got to the point where they changed the algorithm, or they changed the way that they do things, and they said, we're not going to monetize people that are less than 1,000 subscribers, I kind of was like, what, crying foul, and started complaining, and I put out, stuff on Twitter and stuff. And afterwards, after I did that, I started to realize how, kind of dumb it was to sit there and complain about something like that, because A, you have no control over it, and B, it kind of did make sense. It's like, when a kid whines about something or gets in trouble about something that they did wrong, and then they at the same time realize that, yeah, I did something wrong, but then they still whine about it. So it's not the same context, but similar idea. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to look into the chat here just to see what people are saying. So we have Hunter P. Brown, who asked if it was about Pat's video, and yeah, it is, kind of in response to it. And Rex Warden, Pat makes more money yapping about video games than he did killing himself for the phone company I worked for. He was little to complain about. Hunter P. Brown says, small guys like Brian and I do have complaints. Been around for years and barely have a fan base. Well, yeah, that's the nature of YouTube. And that's the other thing is, I was reading a lot of the comments, and people were like, both yes and no, saying things like, some people were like, oh, what are YouTubers complaining about anyways? They have a free platform, they shouldn't complain. What's the point in complaining? Some people just complain about everything, and true, it's true. Some people do complain about everything. We see them every day. If you have a job, any kind of job, and you go to work, chances are you're going to see complaints. When you go to the lunchroom, most people are just sitting there bitching and complaining about something, right? Rex Warden saying, complaining too much? Question mark, how many of us were just short of being able to be paid for Google to yank the rug out from everyone? And Rex is continuing and saying, and how many people were cheated out of income by Google. I guess that's a valid point there, is how many people were cheated out. And you know, for someone like me who obviously was not making much, I mean, I consider myself typically a part-time YouTuber, and I have to, because I wouldn't be able to make a living off of YouTube. It's just, it wouldn't happen. Like, you just don't make enough money. Even if I were to spend every waking minute of my life making videos, sure, I'd probably make more money than I make now. I mean, I don't make anything off of YouTube other than Patreon. But I mean, yeah, if you do dedicate your time in life. But how much are you making, you know, versus if you were to actually just get a real job, or go in, well, not a real job, but say just go and work at a McDonald's, right? So there is some pros and cons to trying to make a living off of YouTube. It's not easy. And a lot of the people that I've seen, and you know, videos I've seen and YouTubers I've seen who've been doing this, a lot of them have been doing it for a very long time, and they started almost from the beginning. But other things that I've read in the chat were kind of interesting, where people were bringing in the whole Logan Paul issue. And he was that YouTuber that, I guess he went into the forest and he filmed some dead body, and then all this heat was thrown at him, and a lot of people were like, who the heck is he? Even I had to like look him up. I was like, I don't even know who he is. That's the whole YouTube is famous, or YouTube famous, I should say. Like, you could have 1 billion subscribers on YouTube, and a lot of people still might not know who the hell you are. So, but what people were saying in the chat, or in the comment section, was kind of like on the lines of, you know, maybe YouTube is only favoring the big people like Logan Paul, letting him get away with stuff like that, whereas people like, say, me or other YouTubers who have more subscriber base and more views and more content, can be banned easily. You know, you put something up there and that's it. And so that was interesting. And, you know, some people were actually saying it. Another one that I kind of caught was somebody brought up the fact that there's some YouTubers out there who all they do is they upload things like TV clips, like TV shows, things like that. They'll take like a snippet. Like, even I watch some of them. Like, the other day I was watching some Married with Children episodes from, you know, the TV show from the 80s, 90s. And it's just on someone's account. They upload a snippet of the video, and then they monetize it, and then they make money. And it's like, well, how is that fair? That someone just takes like a TV show, puts it on their channel, and gets 50 million views and makes money, right? Like, that's copyrighted material, and not too much on the same, you know, well, I mean, in a sense it's similar to what I'm doing now. I'm playing Pitfall, which I don't own. It's a copyrighted piece of material, and I just got eaten. So it's kind of in the same vein, right? But at least I'm adding something to it. I'm not just taking a snippet of something, throwing it up there, and just hoping I get views. And so that was kind of an interesting comment that was actually left. We got the GameZar in here. How's it going, GameZar? Yeah, I'm trying something different. I've never done this before. Usually my live plays are strictly just live plays. I don't have a topic. I just kind of ramble on about whatever. But I thought maybe I was going to do a response video, actually. And I thought, instead of doing a response video, let's try and do something live where I can get some actual reaction from the people in the chat, because that seems like it would be a little bit more fun, and then I can kind of play a game in the background, not really focus too much on it. But Rex is saying, I had a real job that kept cutting my pay and bonus opportunities. Getting a good job depends almost entirely on how much money you already have. That's a good point. It is kind of unfair almost in the job market. Maybe it is unfair, I don't know. I constantly see a lot of people who make like double, triple I make, and you know, it's like, is it because I don't work hard enough? Is it because I'm not skilled enough? Is it because, you know, is it just, it's just not fair? Like, what's the reasoning why someone can make, say, 6 figures and I can't? But that's the way that the job market works, right? There's a place where you go to show a prize pig. Yeah, that's true. I mean, fairness. That's another thing, right? Well, what is fair? What's fair? I mean, YouTube is a privately owned platform. It is a website, it's a business. They put it up there and they let people put their videos up there. So in hindsight, where can we complain? It's almost like the same thing with Facebook. Where can you complain? Like, if Facebook wants to do something, Facebook is going to do something, and people are going to have their account, and if they don't like it, they can very well pull their account off. YouTube, on the other hand, it's the same idea. You can have an account with YouTube, upload it, videos all you want, and that's the other thing. Like, you're going to run into a lot of people who, like, they don't care. Like, they put their videos up there for fun. They don't make any money off of it. They don't want to make any money off of it. And then some of them actually go as far as saying, you know, everybody else should be the same. Why are you trying to make money off of YouTube? It's a platform that you should just be thankful is free. Put your videos up there. Don't complain. Don't try and make money. And then there's some shaming. You know, why are people asking for money? You know, they should just upload the video and be done with it. And of course, there's a lot of people out there that will freely upload content and not monetize, not have a Patreon account, not have anything, and that's fine. I mean, that's what you want to do. That's what you're going to do, right? Who cares if you make money off of it? And it's a great platform for that. And you see it all the time. People take like videos off their cell phone at the spur of the moment, upload it. You never know what's going to go viral. You could just all of a sudden take a small video of somebody doing something stupid in a Walmart and put it up there, and all of a sudden 500,000 people see it. So, I mean, and you might not be monetizing, and you might not make any money off of it. Let's see, what did Hunter P. Brown is saying he makes money as a truck driver. YouTube is my hobby. If I made the same money on YouTube, I'd make it my job. That's true. If you could make that kind of money. I mean, it's very difficult. The issue is on YouTube, you can follow all the rules and meet all the requirements, and they can ignore their own policies. Yeah, well, it's much like a real job, right? You can have a real job, and they can all of a sudden change policies on you, and then what? Yeah. Games are saying YouTube has content creators by the short and curlies. They make the rules until someone truly competes with them. Yeah, well, that's the other thing, competition too, right? There is a thing about competition, and so far the only thing I guess there's a bunch out there, like, you know, Twitch, for instance, and I know people have asked me, am I going to go to Twitch? Am I going to start doing videos on Twitch and all that stuff? I haven't really spent any time with Twitch at all. I mean, I don't have the time to focus on too many platforms. I think I focus on enough platforms as it is. I mean, I focus on YouTube, and then I, you know, have my Facebook page, my Twitter, Instagram, and that takes up enough time as it is to say I'm going to go and do it on Twitch as well. And what other? I mean, there's got to be a lot of other video sites out there. But what's going to have the reach? I mean, you're not going to have the audience. Let's just say that. It's kind of like if you want to sell stuff. eBay is pretty much the top. If you want to sell things, eBay is there. I mean, there is other similar ones, but eBay is going to be the biggest one. And if you choose to go with another smaller company or something like that, or try and do it on your own, you're going to get from this many people watching or checking out your product to a smidgen of that. And you know, that's up to you. I mean, it's perfectly fine if you want to do that. But when you kind of realize, like, YouTube is the place to post your videos, I mean, and like they said in the, like Pat and Ian both said in the video, I can't remember which one said it, but YouTube is, I think it was Pat, he said YouTube is getting bigger than cable TV, essentially. It is the cable TV. And I've heard a lot of people, even friends, who've said they've stopped their cable and they don't pay for anything, they just watch YouTube. They have an internet connection, they watch YouTube. They don't even have a TV, they just have a computer and they watch YouTube. That makes sense, right? I mean, it's free. Well, it's free with an internet connection, but essentially it's free. I mean, sure, there's the YouTube Premium or whatever you can buy, but whatever. Gab got kicked off the Google Play Store because of hate speech. Well, yeah, and then that's another thing too. You're on someone's platform. You're going to have to behave in a certain way. You can't do whatever you want. There isn't that notion of freedom of speech like a lot of people try and say. In fact, recently in the news, and I've been following this a little bit, Alex Jones, the conspiracy theory guy, I've watched a few of his stuff just out of morbid curiosity, and a lot of what he said just kind of irritated me, and he's very annoying. But that's my opinion. I'm sure there's some people out there that really like the guy. But recently he just got banned off of Twitter, following being banned off of YouTube and off of Facebook, and all the other like big platforms essentially just threw him off. Now there's an example of someone who had like tens of millions of people watching his content and just got thrown right off of YouTube. Pretty much because of the way he is. I mean, the way he does his stuff. It's too edgy, it's too this. He practically insulted a like, who was it? Marco Rubio. He got in his face in his own conference and was putting his hand on him and stuff. He drew the line, and so we have to always understand that that's going to happen, right? You got to conform to their rules. You want to use their platform, it's their rules. The same thing's going to apply to trying to make money off of it. You want to make money off of it? Well, you're going to have to follow their rules. Currently, like I mentioned earlier, they did imply that implement that you can't monetize off of YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 4,000 hours of watch time or something within a year. And every year they're going to check that to make sure you still have that kind of stuff. They're not going to just all of a sudden, okay, you got in, now you're going to get paid. Like, you're going to have to keep that up. You're going to have to get the views. Google will find your stuff for some reason. Twitch will cancel your channel? I stream stuff on my Roku. Oh, Roku boxes. Yeah, I've heard of those. It's like a streaming box, right? And many times it's YouTube specifically for documentaries. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff, and you gotta find it. Another thing I've noticed too is people complain about things like the algorithms and stuff, and I'm kind of seeing why. I mean, I'm looking at like, I subscribe to a lot of gamers, a lot of retro gamers, a lot of people like me. I like to watch, people play video games and stuff like that, and I'm starting to notice a lot of weird things coming up in my suggestion boxes, like stuff that is not even what I would ever want to watch. I'm like, what is going on? Alex Jones got deplatformed by everybody but Twitter in a span of 2 hours. That's cool. 2 hours. I didn't watch him, but damn, anybody who is glad he got kicked off of everywhere, they cheer about it. Like it can't happen to them. He's an idiot, but stuff like that is scary. Where do you draw the line? Now that's another thing too. I mean, people were arguing freedom of speech, and I saw it from Review Tech USA. He was talking about the incident or the issue. The amazing atheist, who has a YouTube channel, he was talking about it. More on the freedom of speech kind of issue. And do you have freedom of speech when it comes to these privately owned platforms? Do you have freedom of speech? And I don't think you do. I mean, I can't come on YouTube and just start talking smack about anybody I want at any given time, and be completely rude towards people, because you're violating their policies. If I go on YouTube and I start threatening people and start yelling at people or threatening people for their lives, I mean, that's endangering people, isn't it? So it's like, you gotta have some element of respect when you're on the platform. Google already got caught shortening people's views and view times. Oh, that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. I haven't actually heard that. Not to mention he's a conspiracy guy. So the Alex Jones, he's a conspiracy guy who you just proved you were conspiracying against. Now he's martyred. Yeah, exactly. It just builds up, right? He can come on and say, well, hey, this guy's saying I'm a conspiracy, but he's not looking into it. And when you try and shut down discussion and hide something, people are going to dig into it. That's another good truth there. You can threaten people on Google and Twitter all you like, as long as they are the right people. As in the people who won't complain. I like, with the Alex Jones things, I didn't actually look enough into it to find out what the real reasoning was. I don't even know if it was even released, the real reasoning. I think it was just that they said he violated the policies. And of course, that was his complaint. And he, he's a big, guy in the industry, making lots of money, has his own show, his own website. He's not like a small-time YouTuber, and he's complaining about YouTube. So, the little guys complaining about YouTube are there, but then you got the big guys complaining about YouTube. Of course, like people like Logan Paul and what was that PewDiePie guy? Again, I mean, he millions of subscribers or something like that, and almost got thrown out of the platform for being racist, well, being accused of being racist. I don't know. There was some incident there. I don't remember it. The news goes by so fast, you almost can't remember half of it a day later. And there was something about him and saying things that were not going well. And people were like, he needs to be unsubbed. People need to throw him off the platform. Social justice were jumping in there. And of course, we do live in a world with social justice. I wonder if you can threaten an internet troll on Google. Well, it's true the owners are left-leaning. They don't mind leftist hate speech as much. Yeah, well, hate speech is subjective too, right? What to one person is hate speech could be like heroic speech to another. And it's almost up to the society to deem what they say is hate speech. It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know what the full-on definition of hate speech is, but people get up there and they say what they think, and then next thing you know, it's like that's hate speech. So you gotta be very careful with your words, I think, when you are on such a platform. I remember when a troll was just someone who would bait people into getting angry. Hey, they're still around though. And they're still the trolls that just go on and they just make comments like that. Look at Pogo, makes harmless music videos. People found out he didn't hate Trump and started copyright striking his videos. Huh. Well, that's not right. I mean, someone shouldn't be targeted for their political beliefs. But at the same time, I think if you're going to go on like a social network, if you're going to go on Google, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and you're going to start throwing out your political or religious beliefs or anything that's usually like a hot topic, you're going to have to expect to get some flack or get somebody that's going to disagree with you. I think that's just normal, right? It's kind of like why I typically try not to talk too much about stuff like that, because first of all, it's not in the flavor of my channel. My political or any kind of belief systems, it's not related to what my channel is about, so what's the point? And second of all, I don't want to kind of be on one side or just be aiming towards a certain group of people. I like everybody. I want everybody to be, engaging in my content, not just people who believe in this religion or people who believe in this politic. I don't think that has anything to do with what I'm doing now, with what my channel is, right? So it's just something I don't do. Unconventional? Man, do I just screw that up. How's it going? Sad Azim is saying, of according to Merriam-Webster, hate speech is speech expressing hatred of a particular group of people. Well, I guess so. So if somebody goes on and starts complaining about us gamers, calling us all nerds, is that hate speech, I guess? Saying we're all wasting our life? Complaining about having acid thrown in your face is racist. Whoa. Yeah, well, I guess it depends on the context of who threw acid in your face. That doesn't sound very nice. GameStar is saying that politics and religion is divisive. No place in gaming, really, but I don't mind chatting about it. Well, yeah. I mean, as long as you stay neutral, it's an interesting topic. What do you think are the worst kind of internet trolls? Oh, jeez. That is a topic. And funny enough, I mean, that's something that I always thought about YouTube as well, is that building defense against trolls. And I know a lot of YouTubers now. I mean, I've been chatting with a lot of them. I do my live chats with a lot of them. And, you know, many of them have many more subscribers than I do, many more views than I do. And obviously that creates more trolling. And I've spoken with a few who've said this. The bigger you get, the larger your channel gets, the more trolling. And is there a way to kind of circumvent it, complain to YouTube? Why do these people get to go on YouTube and troll like that? I mean, it's one thing to have a difference of opinion, which I don't consider that to be trolling. That's where we have to be careful. I mean, I can come on here and talk about how I love this game and how great it is. It's the best game in the world. And someone can come on and be like, what are you talking about? This game is crap. This is the stupidest game ever. And then I can get angry and be like, oh, you're just trolling. No, he's not trolling. He's giving me an opinion. His thought on the game. But if he came on and said, I look like a complete loser, and I this, and he was like, you know, making fun of me specifically, then yes, he's trolling. And that's what I've seen on some of my friends' other YouTube channels, where people just go on and attack them. Arcade USA has said it himself, where he's had people go on there and they call him fat, and they call him this, and they call him that. You know, all uncalled for, all has no bearing to the topic at all. It's just hurtful trolling, and he will literally just ban them. Just be like, that's it, you're out. I mean, I'm going to ban you out of my comment section so you can't comment. And, you know, but that's near, you know, their own opinions and their own thoughts or whatever, and how they want to deal with it. But does YouTube take it seriously when people troll? Because I'm sure there's people who just set up a YouTube account just to go in and troll. I mean, can you imagine the power you would have if you could just go in and just constantly make, you know, crude comments toward people just to get, you know, get under people's skin, just to get them after you or whatever. Or if they can't get you fired, they put out a bounty for people who physically attack you on the site. Oh, that's interesting. The kind that call everyone Nazis for disagreeing with them, or call their... Yeah, okay, that... You see, that's going back to what I was saying, you know, some people just can't take criticism. And then they call everybody... They call them all out, say they're Nazis or this or that, and it's like, no, they just don't agree with you. I mean, the people have the right to disagree, right? This is why we have the thumbs up and the thumbs down button, which, you know, I've had gripes about that as well. I've never been a big fan of the thumbs down button, not because I don't like it that people give me the thumb down. That's not what I don't like about it. I don't like about is that you don't know why they're giving you the thumbs down. They're just doing it. And I would rather have more information as to why. Like, is it because the content sucks? Is it because my voice sucks? Is it because the video is slow? Like, that's what I'd like to know. It's like actual feedback. The thumbs down button doesn't tell me anything. It could just be anybody being like, I'm just going to give this guy a thumbs down, boom. Or I watched 5 seconds of the video, I wasn't happy, so I'm going to give you a thumbs down. It doesn't tell you anything. There's no information there, so... I mean, sure, the thumbs up even is almost as useless. Like, it's like, yeah, I liked it, but whatever. Hey, the Atari Creep, how's it going, buddy? That's not power at all unless you let it get to you, bud. Most kids are like that, not taking criticism. Well, yeah, we live in a helicopter society, what do you call it, helicopter parents who hover over their kids, protect them from all costs, so they don't know what it's like to have any kind of hurt or rejection. And then when they do get some sort of hurt or rejection, they're like, meh, crying to everybody, and nobody's gonna care because they're gonna be like, listen, everybody's got their own problems, right? Said Azim is saying that I think some people can't handle the idea that people have different ideas than them. Yes, there are a lot of people who think that their idea is the right idea and everybody else has the wrong idea. And that's, again, this is where platforms like YouTube have a hard time, and Facebook and all that, because one person's opinion might not resonate with the majority of society. I appreciate guys like you who stick to gaming and pop culture. I watch these kind of channels to get away from the politics. Yes, that's exactly my point earlier, why I say I don't typically bring in my political views or anything that is off base from gaming or toys or anything that I specifically talk about. And actually, you know, this made me think, you know, just recently, a couple of weeks ago, John Hancock, the immortal John Hancock, he did a video where he was really just talking about that school shooting. I think it was, yeah, it was like a school shooting that happened. Oh no, sorry, it was the video game convention where there was that shooting, and he was talking specifically about that. Nothing really related to gaming or anything like that. And I remember reading the comments, and some people were saying things like, you know, well, you know, you should just stick to what you do. You shouldn't be putting videos like this up. Why are you talking about this stuff? You know, so I did read a few comments like that where people were kind of like disagreeing with him, kind of going off topic from what his channel's all about. And so you do run that risk when you start bringing in stuff that has nothing to do with your content. You're going to run the risk of pissing everybody off. RC from the NYC, what's going on? Yeah, so for those that just kind of jumped in on the chat, what I'm doing here is kind of like what I normally do with my streaming games, but actually having a topic to talk about instead of just rambling on about random stuff. And you know, this was just a response video. I just wanted to like do something fun, just to talk. It was just fun. Anyways, yeah. So let's throw this out there. I think other people can throw their opinions in here as well, and you know, let's just get a chat going. I think if other people want to do videos like this, it's cool. And if you want to throw in more reactions, I did this as opposed to doing just a standard reaction video, just because I wanted to get some people in the chat to throw their ideas in there. But yeah, I put the link to Pat the NES Punk's video. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. It's interesting. I like the topic. A lot of fun. And you know, if this is works out and if people like it, then maybe I'll do another one of these type of just me rambling and playing some random game at the same time. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Thanks everybody in the chat for throwing their 2 cents in there. I thought it was great. It was a fun chat. It was just, you know, just a way to get the ideas out there. And you know, I'm neither here nor there on the subject. It was just more of a conversation piece. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, and I'm gonna be killing the stream.